Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi focused on economic and regional security cooperation as they met in Sydney. Ties between the two countries appear to have been strengthening, with Mr Albanese visiting India just 2 months ago. The two countries are both members of the Quad group of nations, along with Japan and the US, a grouping which is seen as an alliance working to counter China's rise in the Indo-Pacific region. The latest Quad Leaders Summit took place on the sidelines of the G7 in Tokyo instead of Sydney because President Joe Biden had to return to Washington. Mr Modi, though, decided to press on with his Australian trip, visiting the nation for the first time since 2014, and there were strong displays of friendship.
Australia has become significant for India to engage, partly since the focus has shifted from North Atlantic to Indo-Pacific region, which of course is the new debate, which is triggered by rise of China and China's rising footprint in the entire periphery, primarily in the Indo-Pacific region.
Before Australia, Mr Modi visited Papua New Guinea, which is seen as a further part of this strategy.
Friends, I want you to give a big Australian welcome to my dear friend, Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Once he reached Australia, Mr Modi received a rock-star welcome, as tens of thousands of people flocked to a Modi rally in Sydney, highlighting the support from the Indian diaspora in Australia. The Indian Prime Minister is looking to boost his appeal after losing a state election in Karnataka to the main opposition party last week. Building relations could be an attempt to do that. One of the main outcomes of the trip was India and Australia announcing a migration deal to promote the two-way mobility of students, graduates, academic researchers and business people. Trade ties are another important area, and the two sides are working towards a comprehensive economic cooperation deal, as bilateral trade is expected to double to some $50 billion by 2035. Mr Modi also said that he raised the topic of a series of attacks that have taken place on Hindu temples in Australia, and that Mr Albanese assured him that strict action would be taken. Rebecca Bunden, CNA, Mumbai.